how does a Christian navigate regular giving to a church or an organization or people in their life without, having to rethink that every week or every month or whenever they're accustomed to giving? How do they still have some sort of process for giving?
Okay, the New Testament gives us some guidelines. For example, 2 Corinthians 9 and verse 7, let each one of you, now think about those words, each one of you, this is an individual and personal matter. Now, some churches who still believe in tithing, like when I was raised, I attended a church that believed in tithing, and they would give us envelopes at the beginning of the year. And some churches even know what your salary is, and they'll tell you, now 10% of what you make should be given to us, the church, see? So they'll basically involve themselves in telling you, the giver, how much you are to give to the Lord, give to the church. But this says, so let each one give just as he has purposed in his heart. The individual makes the decision how much he gives. And the New Testament is going to say he is to give according to his ability to give. He gives you can't give what you don't have, but you can give what you do have. So let each one give as he has purposed in his own heart, his own mind, his own resolve, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. And then 1 Corinthians 16 gives us some help. On the first day of the week, let each one of you, see, again, individual, personal. It's not for me, as, say, your pastor, to tell you how much you should be given. It's for you to give intelligent forethought to it. And so we don't want to run Operation Hip Pocket. Here comes the collection plate down the pew, and I better pull out some money real quick and put some in there. How much? I don't know. Just whatever I see in my wallet, I give some of it there. That's Operation Hip Pocket. We don't give any forethought to it. So it says, on the first day of the week, let each of you lay something aside, storing up as he may prosper, that there be no collections when I come. So let's take each Sunday and assess our giving. How much do I have? What are my bills, my liabilities? I've got to pay all my bills. I've got to support my family, my children. Now, how much have I got that I can give? And so I think that we should be laying aside some money little by little so that when the need presents itself, we're ready to give. Think about it. Tithing, as it's been taught, and maybe I've mentioned this to you before. Let's suppose you and I have the same job. We work in the same factory. We both make $10,000 a year. Now, if we tithe, how much money are we supposed to be given each year? We make $10,000.
Well, according to most people's logic, $1,000.
That's right. That's 10%. You're a single man. I'm married and have a wife and 3 children. Do we both have the same ability to give? No. I've got more dependents. You don't have any dependents, even though you and I make the same salary. It'll be a lot easier for you to give $1,000 than it is for me to give $1,000.
Correct, yeah.
So a person, when he gives, what are my responsibilities as a Christian, as a single man, as a husband, as a father? I've got people dependent upon me. God does not want me to neglect them or for my family to be in need. I've got to pay my bills. Owe no man anything except the debt of love. So I need to support my family. I need to pay my bills. Now, what have I got left that I can give? And God doesn't want us to give reluctantly or under compulsion, but cheerfully. Now, when I was raised in a church that taught tithing, it never occurred to me that there's a different way according to the New Testament, and so I would tithe. And I didn't enjoy doing it. I just looked at it as another bill to pay. The Bible requires me to tithe. Okay, I'll do it, and I did. I was very faithful in it, but I didn't. There was no joy in it for me. And then when I was in seminary, I did my New Testament thesis on. I did my master's thesis on New Testament stewardship, giving, and I just saw in the 2 Corinthians 9 that when a person gives cheerfully, he wants to give more, and God increases his ability to give more. And so now Sue and I are quite generous with the funds that God has given us. In fact, we started becoming aggressive in seminary, looking for needy people, not waiting on them to come to us, but looking for them and good Christian organizations to give to.
So in that circumstance, would you still be tithing to a church on top of finding needy people to give to?
No. No, I wouldn't be tithing to a church. I would be giving to a church what Sue and I thought we should give to the church. Now, on top of that, look for individuals, have some emergency funds set aside, because you don't always see these needs coming.
So let's say somebody had a particular need that you felt like you could meet. Would that ever change the amount you would give to a church?
It could. It could. If I sense that this person's need is really huge and pressing on him or on this family, and right now the church is doing well, so we may well cut back on what we're giving to the church and give a little bit more to this needy person, this needy family. Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't think that. I think God in the New Testament has given the Christian considerable freedom in this. He's required to give. There are wonderful blessings in giving. We're obligated to give. This isn't a suggestion. It's not advice. It's a command. We are to give. But I think God gives us considerable freedom in how much we give. And we're to give according to our needs. Remember, Jesus said that old widow who gave her last 2 pennies gave more than everybody else. How so? She really, strictly speaking, she gave less than everybody. She only gave 2 pennies. But she gave more because that's all she had to give. She gave 100% of what she had. Nobody else that Sabbath gave everything they had.
Yeah.